I want to go back to the issues of that you focused on at the FCC. One of them that was obviously very much a part of your tenure was your decision to pursue repealing Obama era so-called net neutrality rules. And there were a lot of fights about this. There were websites that were just, it seems like every website actually on the internet was dedicated to hating on you and the FCC. The theory being that the internet itself would collapse if you repealed those rules. I'm looking at an old Bernie Sanders tweet. This is November 21st, 2017. Right after it was announced that the FCC would vote to repeal net neutrality, Bernie Sanders tweeted, "Once again, the Trump administration sides with big money and against democracy. If this passes, the internet and its free exchange of information as we have come to know it will cease to exist." The a senator from New York, Kirsten Gillibrand, tweeted, "The FCC just voted to repeal net neutrality, a move that attacks freedom of speech for the millions of people who use the internet every single day. This is outrageous." And she said she'd be joining other senators' efforts to reverse it. Now, obviously, with the benefit of hindsight, the internet did not collapse. That's absolutely it's still here.
Thank you, Al Gore.
That's right, exactly. Thank you for inventing it, Al Gore.
Sturdy internet.
What do you make of those predictions and what they look like in hindsight? And what was the impact? Is there a way for you to establish if there was a measurable impact from repealing those Obama era rules?
I'll start with the second part because I think starting with the concrete factual foundation, I think is important. And then we can move to some of the hyperbole. The facts are clear that the internet is far better off today in the United States than it was in 2017. According to Ookla, an independent third-party company, the average fixed broadband speed in the United States today is up 172% compared to December of 2017. Average mobile broadband speeds in the United States are up over 300% in the United States compared to 2017. Again, as we discussed earlier, millions more Americans have access to the internet today than they had back then. And moreover, the internet from a network perspective remains free and open. Internet service providers are abiding by the transparency regulation that we instituted. They are not blocking access to content. They're not throttling speeds. They're not doing any competitive paid prioritization and those types of things. And so from our perspective, from my perspective at least, any fair-minded person has to agree on those basic facts. I mean, this is not something that is up for dispute, which leads to some of the predictions that were made. And I sometimes smile when I think about all of them. And I made a list back then. This is the end of the internet as we know it. You're going to get the internet one word at a time. Internet service providers are going to censor access to political websites that they don't favor, or to abortion rights websites, or to all kinds of just parade of horribles that were out there. None of that has come to materialize. And in fact, to the extent there is censorship on the internet, if you are a sentient being with a semblance of intellectual honesty, you would have to agree that it's actually the tech companies that are deciding what you see and what you don't see. And there's a bipartisan recognition now of the fact that the problem in the internet is more on the internet content companies as opposed to the network operators themselves. And so, to me, at least, the conversation has shifted tremendously. And every now and then, I'll go on Twitter and I'll notice some people saying, like, why are we so agitated about this net neutrality issue? What was it about again? Why did we hate this guy so much? And to me, it's just a sign of the fact that people have moved on. They've recognized that this is just a non-issue at the end of the day. And so to me, I'll take it as victory.